What happens when the courtroom closes and the lights go out?
Oh, Your Honor, I object. That's incompetent, irrelevant, and immaterial. It's also improper cross-examination.
For decades, Perry Mason was the gold standard of justice on television. Raymond Burr's commanding presence, Barbara Hale's elegance, William Hopper's stoic charm. Together, they were unstoppable on screen.
Della, you're a genius.
Yes? Yes, I am.
But real life doesn't offer closing arguments or second takes. This is how each Perry Mason cast member died. Back then, Friday nights weren't about plans. They were about Perry Mason and the people who made it come alive.
I object, Your Honor. Not only is the question incompetent, irrelevant, and immaterial, but counsel is fully aware I covered none of that in direct examination.
Among them was William Tallman, forever remembered as the unflinching Hamilton Burger, the district attorney who always brought the fight, even when he lost. In a show defined by justice and revelation, Tallman's Burger offered something deeper: restraint, persistence, and humanity. He wasn't just a foil to Perry Mason. He was a believer in the law, even when it proved him wrong. With each furrowed brow and clipped objection, Tallman turned what could have been a thankless role into a performance filled with quiet gravity.
Oh, Your Honor, I object. That's incompetent, irrelevant, and immaterial. It's also improper cross-examination.
Off-screen, Tallman was generous and unpretentious. Diagnosed with terminal lung cancer in 1967, the lifelong smoker filmed the first ever anti-smoking PSA from a dying man, urging others not to make his mistake. It aired after his death on August 30th, 1968, at just 53. It wasn't just the mystery that kept us watching. It was the faces we came to trust. Tall, silver-haired, and quick with a dry remark, William Hopper made Paul Drake more than just a sidekick. He made him unforgettable. As Perry Mason's loyal private investigator, he brought a mix of wit, edge, and easy confidence that gave the series its pulse outside the courtroom. With his ever-present notepad and knack for digging up hidden truths, Hopper's Drake wasn't just support. He was strategy. A cigarette dangling, a collar sharp, and eyes that missed nothing. He embodied the noir charm that made Friday nights feel electric.
Try ice packs. It'll reduce the swelling in no time.
Behind the scenes, Hopper was reluctant to return to acting after World War II. But Perry Mason changed that. For 9 seasons, his presence grounded the show, balancing Raymond Burr's steely resolve with just the right touch of laid-back charisma. After the show, Hopper's story ended too soon. He died of pneumonia in 1970, following a stroke. Gone from the screen, but forever part of the verdict. Before plot twists and cliffhangers ruled television, there was quiet brilliance in every glance from the courtroom bench. Wesley Lau didn't just play Lieutenant Andy Anderson. He became the calm in the storm of Perry Mason's most intense moments. Taking over as lead homicide detective after Ray Collins's health declined, Lau brought a quiet resolve and intellectual intensity to the role. A Yale-trained actor and World War II veteran, Lau never sought stardom, just substance. Off-screen, he was known for humility and dedication. Sadly, Wesley Lau died of heart failure in Los Angeles on August 30th, 1984, at age 63. We remember the way they looked over the stand and the way they stood tall in our memories. It wasn't just the mystery that kept us watching. It was the faces we came to trust. Ray Collins didn't just play Lieutenant Arthur Tragg, he defined him. As Perry Mason's original homicide detective, Tragg brought more than facts and evidence to the courtroom. With that arched brow and razor-sharp delivery, Collins gave us a detective who was skeptical but fair, methodical but sly. His dry wit delivered some of the show's most memorable lines, and even as Perry unraveled his cases, Tragg never lost his composure or his pride in the badge.
Funny thing, you don't see a fellow for several weeks, and then all of a sudden you run into him twice in one day.
This is Sergeant Jaffrey, Vice Squad.
Vice Squad?
One of his officers was killed a while back.
Off-screen, Collins was a founding member of the group theater and a veteran of radio, film, and TV. Though emphysema forced him to step back from the series, his presence never faded. Ray Collins died in 1965, but his shadow still moves through the black and white halls of justice. In black and white courtrooms, justice had a voice, and it sounded a lot like him. Raymond Burr didn't just play Perry Mason, he was Perry Mason. From 1957 to 1966, Burr's commanding presence, intense gaze, and unwavering calm defined the brilliant defense attorney, earning him 2 Emmy Awards and the admiration of millions. Burr's Mason embodied integrity, unraveling complex cases with meticulous cross-examinations and a deep sense of justice.
And on your way up to Thompson's apartment, you saw Amory Fallon asleep on the stairway.
Why,
Amory Fallon, unaccustomed to drink, had fallen asleep. He slept for 45 minutes without knowing it.
Beyond the original series, Burr reprised his role in 26 television movies from 1985 until his death in 1993, demonstrating his enduring connection to the character. Privately battling cancer, Burr remained dedicated to his craft until the end, passing away at his Healdsburg, California ranch on September 12, 1993, at age 76. His final Perry Mason film aired after his death, ensuring his presence lingers in every rerun, long after the case is closed. He didn't need to raise his voice to command the room. Just a look, a pause, and you knew he meant business. In Perry Mason's final season, Richard Anderson took on the role of Lieutenant Steve Drum, bringing a cool precision and quiet authority to the courtroom. His methodical approach made Drum a memorable presence, shifting the show's energy with thoughtful determination. Anderson's scenes with Perry Mason were charged with a subtle tension, two professionals circling the same truth. Off-screen, Anderson's career stretched from noir to sci-fi, most famously as Oscar Goldman in The $6 Million Man and The Bionic Woman. He remained active in Hollywood for decades. Richard Anderson died on August 31, 2017 at age 91, gone from the screen, but forever part of the verdict. She was the calm in the storm, the steady hand beside the man who always won. Barbara Hale's Della Street wasn't just a secretary. She was the soul of Perry Mason. With a glance, a nod, or a quiet word, she grounded the courtroom chaos, bringing warmth and wit to every scene.
How would you like to pose as my wife?
During working hours?
You want a bonus?
From 1957 to 1966, and again in 30 TV movies from 1985 to 1995, Hale's portrayal of Della Street redefined the role of women on television. As one of TV's earliest portrayals of a single professional woman, Della was sharp, composed, and indispensable. Hale's chemistry with Raymond Burr was palpable, their friendship extending off-screen as well. After Burr's passing in 1993, Hale chose not to continue the role.
Della, you're a genius.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Barbara Hale passed away on January 26, 2017, at the age of 94, due to complications from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Their story may have ended, but their shadow still moves through black and white halls of justice. The faces of Perry Mason became icons, not just of a show but of an era, and while time has claimed many of them, their work still lives on in reruns, in memories, and in the impact they left behind. Which cast member's story hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments, and if you grew up watching Perry Mason, we want to hear your favorite courtroom moment. More classic TV legends will be featured in our upcoming videos, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a tribute. Thank you for watching.